The following is a Michigan Sesquicentennial Year presentation.
Michigan Outdoors is made possible in part by a grant from the Stroh Brewery Company, who also bring you Stroh's and Stroh Light, fire brewed for smoother taste.
Hi there, come on in. We have a special hour lined up for you. If you're a hunter, a fisherman, you are married to somebody who does, or you have access to wild game or fish, we have some judges here who are going to judge the top recipes of the year that we've received. We have an array of recipes, so stay tuned. I'm Fred Trost. It's Thursday night, time for Wild Game Cooking Contest 2.
From the rugged shore and woodlands of the north, its history of copper mines and iron ore, the Great Lakes fisheries. To the farmlands of the southern counties, we'll look around again at all that waits the sportsman in the state of Michigan.
Here we are telecasting a wild game cooking contest. You might say, what does a cooking contest have to do with the outdoors, with Michigan outdoors? I'll tell you, it has a lot to do with hunting and fishing. It's really the basis of hunting and fishing for most of us across the country. You see us every week during the summer catching fish. We have a lot of fun. The jumping salmon, the battling trout, well, they're exciting, and fishing is great recreation. But you know, most fishermen go after fish that they like to eat. That's the greatest motivation in all. And hunting, well, whether it's ducks, pheasants, small game or big game, few hunters pursue game they don't truly enjoy eating. Food is a big motivation. The reward in hunting, it's the game itself. We spend a lot of time caring for it, cooking it. Properly prepared and cooked wild game isn't wild at all. It's among the best tasting meat you'll find, and it's better for you than domestic meat. No chemicals, no artificial additives, very little cholesterol. That's why so many people are interested in recipes, and several hundred people have sent them in, Kath.
Right, 220 people to be exact. Now those 220, Fred, I picked 52 that we're going to use on the show for the following year and sent those to the judges. The judges picked the 10 that they wanted to try, so that's what we're going to do tonight.
That's right. We have 5 categories of recipes. We have dips and appetizers, chowder soups and stews, fish entrees, small game,
and big game entrees.
Great. Our own Cathy Beutler narrowed down the recipes for our group of judges here. Raj McCarville, what are you looking for in a
Well, it was very hard to come down to the 52, but I like wild game, and I'm looking forward to testing them all.
I tell you, it's going to be a great one. Bob, what makes a great wild game recipe for Bob Garner?
Well, obviously quantity, but I'm going to be checking out the seasoning and all the additives that go into these recipes. They look like a great bunch of them, too.
Well, Mr. Michigan Outdoors, always an honor to have him, the man who originated the Michigan Outdoors Fish and Wild Game Cooking Contest.
I'm certainly glad to be back here, and while Bob is in favor of quantity, I'm going to look at the quality side of it.
And speaking of quality, here's a guy who knows cooking inside out, Chef Pat Mcguire. Pat, you're at Lost Arrow Lodge. You are a testimony to good cooking and good eating.
Thank you very much. I'll be looking for quality, also as Mort said, and also versatility of the recipe.
And presentation.
Presentation.
Our winners tonight, Pat is the chef at Lost Arrow Lodge. Our winners tonight, in fact, all of the finalists, all 10 of them who are on here, receive a weekend at Lost Arrow Lodge. Royal treatment, complete with rides behind the championship Percheron team around the resort, where they're likely to see deer and wild turkeys. Now, the top 2 winners tonight will stay in the executive suites, complete with hot tubs. Everyone will be fed by gourmet chef Pat Mcguire, who has an interesting program planned.
Oh, they're in store for a lot of fun, and I think I am too. What I'm going to do is I'll have their meals all planned out for them in advance, and I'd like to take them on a tour of the kitchen, kind of show them. Some of them might not have ever been in a restaurant kitchen before. We're set up very well. We have a lot of room back there, and I want to show them some little tricks of the trade that they can use right at home. For instance, taking an onion.
All the finalists will learn how to turn an ordinary meal into a work of art, dazzle your friends and family after spending a weekend at Lost Arrow with our head judge, Chef Pat Mcguire. Also, all the recipes here this evening are in our 1987 cookbook, which will be out May 1st. If you want to receive the first copies, make sure you get to the phone, call the number at the bottom of your screen, and pledge to PBS, because you can be a winner too with these recipes. Kath, our first category,
Dips and appetizers.
Dips and appetizers. We have barbecued fish from Sharon Butler from Venison, and also Contrast to this, piping hot venison dip from Bonnie Zeidler from Cass City. Let's start off with Sharon Beutler with her barbecued fish. Look at this. Man alive, that has
Just one,
fish,
Bob. Just take
fish
one.
wrapped in bacon.
One
Isn't it
side?
good,
It
Kathy?
does, it smells great.
Now, Sharon, you have two types of fish in there.
Yes, I do. I have some coho with colored toothpicks, and the plain toothpicks are walleye.
And this is how you make it.
Yes, we take just a small bite-sized piece of fish, wrap it up in the bacon, and you could overlap it a little bit. It does make it stay together easier. Hold it together with a toothpick, and then we put foil on the grill to keep the fat from the bacon from causing a fire. And when the bacon is done, your fish is done, make sure your bacon is pretty well browned.
Especially with those small pieces like that.
Right, right. Put the barbecue sauce on it. You can use any kind of barbecue sauce you like if you like it a little tangier.
Ooh, look at this. You
Or
can see the fish
Your
in there.
favorite kind of barbecue
Oh,
sauce.
outstanding. Roger McCarville, how do you score it?
Well, I liked it, and I gave it a 7.
7?
7.
Did you eat which one, the coho or the walleye?
I think
You
it
don't
was-
care, do you?
No, it was good.
It was good, Bob. Oh,
I had a little bit of both, Fred, and I gave this a 9. This is really a good, simple recipe that can be done very easily, and it tastes great. Just tastes great.
Mr. Michigan Outdoors, your toothpick is bare.
Well, it was delicious, and there were only 2 ingredients involved in it. Simple and very tasty, but looking at some of these other recipes, I think I'm going to start sharing with a 6.
6, and you gave it a 7.
Yeah, I gave it a 7. I got to agree with Mort. It's a very, very simple recipe. I think the flavor was there and the quality was there, and it was a real good appetizer.
All right, our final score for Sharon Beutler. We have a grand total of 29 points, barbecued fish. Congratulations, Sharon. Now we have coming up piping hot venison dish from Bonnie Zeidler. Bonnie, oh, this is a piping hot, not just hot from the oven, but this is a Mexican type dish. Boy, look at that. That looks outstanding with a little bit of sour cream on top. Look at him scoop that up. Raj, you got to move it. We can send it back to you at the end. Holy cow. Bonnie, how'd you come about this recipe?
Well, actually, it's just a play on a hamburger one.
A play on hamburger?
Uh-huh.
Looks very good.
Yes, it does. Scooping out that spicy stuff right there. Let's take a look at how you put this together, the ingredients.
Cheese, a little bit of sour cream, taco sauce, enchilada sauce, and some dry taco sauce. Refried beans, and that's it. It's real simple.
Looks like a good casserole. You could take almost any place.
Yeah, it reheats real well. Just put your beans in and brown your hamburger. Add your sauces and pour it over the top.
So you add your sauces all right to the meat.
Right.
Okay.
Now this isn't real spicy. It doesn't have any zingers in here, any bombs.
Well, if you use the mild sauces, it's not too hot.
Put your cheese on top and then you bake that?
Put it in the oven, but it's not done yet.
No.
Almost.
Okay. How long did that bake?
15 to 20 minutes. Nice
Just
and
until the
bubbly.
cheese is melted.
Everything is cooked.
Then put sour cream on top.
Sour cream,
Oh.
that looks good. I wonder what the judges say. Raj has his score posted already. Whoa.
Chihuahua.
Hot Chihuahua, is it hot?
It wasn't hot, but it was really good. Very tasty. Very.
You gave it
not
a
too
9,
hot.
huh?
I like good dip.
You like that dip? Bob Garner?
I gave it an 8, Fred. I could eat this stuff all night, but it's
Man,
it's right.
It's not kidding.
No, I'm not kidding at all. In fact, but it's not real hot. It isn't. It's spicy, but it's not real hot.
Let's find out how hot it was, because Mort Neff is sensitive to the spicy
I
food.
still gave it an 8, and I think Bonnie did a great job on it. I noticed the mix with the taco and enchilada, and that's just the beginning of the hot stuff, so I suggest as soon as she finishes the recipe, she should call the fire department.
Call the fire department after this one. Pat Mcguire?
I liked it very much. I gave it a 9. I think it's very versatile. You can use different things, in it also. And it wasn't that hot. You can spice it up pretty much any way you'd like.
How
And it's
about
very
that?
good.
An array of high scores here for Bonnie. Both of you top contenders. We have our fish and our venison dip. Let's see what the scores are. Sharon with 29. Bonnie, you came in with 34 points. Congratulations on that one. Hey, but the fish was great too. They both are outstanding recipes. Let's take a look at our next category we have coming up. This one for chowders, soups, and stews. We Whoops, a little CG problem there. If we could switch that, we have chowder, soups, and stews coming up right here. TG's rabbit and squirrel stew, and salmon and cheese chowder. Again, a game and a fish recipe. Here's TG, Tom Greenhoe. Tom from Grand Rapids. Oh yes, look at this. Look at that. Maybe you're gonna have to pass those down.
Yeah, Roger.
Yeah.
Pass that down.
That
there.
looks like a good stick to your ribs type of.
Yeah, it is. It's a fun one.
They're dishing them out and passing them down right now.
Everything's on one
A crock pot meal.
Yep.
Could you cook this without a crock? Could you just do it on the stove and cook it for an hour or two?
You can, but you don't get, the meat doesn't get as tender when you do it that quick.
Hmm.
You know, I like to do it a little bit longer and it gets a little more tender.
Now you call for a rabbit and a squirrel.
Right. You take your rabbit right here and you just debone it. You get a fillet and you just basically brown it. And you don't want to go it all the way through, you know, not too good. And you dump it right into your crock pot with your Lee and Perrin seasoned pepper. Right onto the vegetables there. And then on top of that, you put the Lee and Perrin's Worcestershire sauce. And with that will be the Hunt's barbecue sauce and your spicy V8, which I personally think gives it the real good taste.
Go for those spices, huh?
Well, it just zips up a little bit. This is one I made in college.
Ah, a college recipe. Roger, what do you think? Oh, a 9?
No, I haven't got it out yet,
Oh,
Fred.
you haven't got it out? What's your score?
But I got
a 9. Another 9 by Roger McCarville.
Very good.
Bob Garner, they've been so busy eating.
Oh yeah, my favorite spot. I give this one an 8, and he's right. I do like the spicier V8 combination there.
9, 8, 7.
That's 7. I was talking to Tom beforehand, and he told me he started off with one rabbit and one squirrel and let his imagination run wild.
I guess so.
That's the way it tastes.
Okay, and Pat Mcguire, our gourmet chef, what do you think about the crock pot?
I thought it was wonderful. It's very, very, very good recipe. It's got nice vegetables, nice potatoes, and I'm a meat and potato man.
And
very good. I
gave it a score of, we have an 8 right there, brings it to a score of 32 points. Outstanding, Tom. Stay on deck right here. We have coming up salmon and cheese chowder with Betty Horn from Royal Oak. Here comes Betty with the salmon and cheese chowder. Look at this. That is tasty stuff in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, here, I'll pass it down.
That looks, this is a creamy type, not going to be spicy, I don't think, is it, Betty?
No, it's not spicy.
Okay, Betty, how'd you come about this recipe?
Well, I started with one recipe following sort of like a clam chowder and then added cheese and salmon and just...
So it's a clammy chowder type, huh?
it's salmon. It's salmon and cheese.
But it does have that texture.
Yes, it does.
New England chowder, of course, you start with your vegetables.
Yes.
Make a white sauce.
Now, white sauce isn't too difficult to make.
No, well, it isn't, but you've got to make sure you don't add your milk all at once because it will lump up on you.
Yes.
Now, I was kind of impressed with this because you added cheese to your white sauce. Made it.
Stir in the cheese just until it melts. You add the salmon to the cooked vegetables, and then you pour in the cheese sauce after that.
Now, that's cooked salmon.
Yes, it's cooked. Yes, I bake the salmon, and then I flake it. Make sure there's no bones.
Don't drain any of the water on
No,
the
you don't
vegetables,
drain
so
it. No.
just
And
stays
then-
right there.
That's right.
Oh, it looks great.
Oh, yes. We have the judges scurrying here with their pencils. Raj McCarville, he's dropped the score. Starting with an 8, you didn't like it as well as the spicy?
No, I like the other one a little better,
Just
but
a
I like
tad,
this
huh?
one too, but it's 8.
Oh, Bob Garner went up in his score.
Well, I like the combination of the vegetables, and the vegetables were very, very tasty in this. They weren't mushy. Very good recipe.
Mort?
Well, I thought it was tasty, all right, but somehow or other it didn't appeal to me as much as the hot stuff. So I'm giving it a 6.
I'll be darned. And this is the man who doesn't care
Well,
for the real
my
hot
tastes
stuff.
have changed.
And Pat Mcguire, you gave it an 8?
Yeah, I gave it an 8. I thought it was a real fine recipe. I liked the way she didn't add a lot of salt to it. Sometimes they tend to make things too salty. I think it was very good, an 8.
And the score, the final scores we have coming up here, 31 points,
close.
just edged out, Betty. Tom, congratulations on that. It was a squeaker. Evidently, the judges leaned for the hot, spicy, just a little bit. Well, stay on deck here. We're going to be coming back, and who knows, you two might be the big winners with the executive suite. We're going to go right now to your local station. I hope you want to call in for the outdoors. Get yourself a cookbook. We have all the recipes you just saw here, plus all of the 1986 and 87 coming up. So stay tuned. Get on the phone, please. carry it down.
I'll tell you what, this is one of my very special times or events that I really enjoy here on Michigan Outdoors. Even though I got somewhat of a bad cold this week, I wouldn't have missed this thing for the world. Tremendous recipes, and it gives us a time to lay back a little bit and talk to you folks about doing something you know darn well you should do. In order to support public broadcasting, in order to support the outdoors, it's time you went to your phone, took a good look at that number on the bottom of your screen and dialed it and said, yes, I want to support the outdoors. I want to stand up and be counted. Dial 355-2323. You know, it's quite an event where we can get Mr. Michigan Outdoors, Mort Neff, back out here. Mort, will you tell our WKAR viewers exactly what you think they ought to be doing right now?
I think they ought to be reaching for the telephone. It's easy to dial that number that you see on the screen. Do it now and make a pledge to Michigan Outdoors and to all of the other great programs you see and see regularly on PBS. The way to keep them regular is to make a pledge. And that pledge, don't forget, is tax deductible and is worth a whole lot more than you put in it, right?
Boy, I think so. I am really proud to be on PBS, to be for 6 years. I tell you, I had a show right after Michigan Outdoors went off the air under Mort Neff. I came back with a show on commercial TV that lasted 1.5 years. Bonk. It was knocked on to Saturday mornings, and then it was history in short order. We've been on 6 years here on PBS, Thursday night, prime time. Get to the phone, folks. We got to get them ringing. I'm really talking to you sportsmen tonight who hunt and fish and enjoy hunting and fishing and like to see it on television. This wild game cooking contest, I tell you, is what it's all about. You can get the cookbook with all of our 1986 recipes and all of our 1987 recipes. You can get the Outdoor Digest, which 6 issues a year. You'll get a sticker, an Outdoors Club sticker. You'll get the membership card, and this membership card gets you into the outdoor fair. It gets you into our workshops. It has a lot of benefits to go with this. Well worth the price and worth a pledge tonight, because we want to keep the outdoors strong on television. We don't want to slip. We don't want to lose our #1 standing as the big fundraiser for PBS, because that has given the outdoors a lot of stature in the eyes of television managers around the country. That's important to me, because we've been neglected for a long time, too long on television, because they're kind of afraid of the outdoors. The hunting and the fishing, hey, we're proud of it. You can call in and get a t-shirt. In fact, you can get, if you want to call in $180 here on Channel 23, you can get a hat, a t-shirt, the digest, the cookbook for $180. You could get, say, $120, you get the digest and 2 of these items. You get your choice. We want to make it easy for you to contribute. We want you to get something out of it. The main thing you get is Michigan Outdoors, a la Mort Neff's pattern that he taught me. I'm trying to carry on the tradition on Thursday nights, and I know you folks support it. You have in the past, and please get to the phones now.
You know, one thing they've got to do is they've got to get up and go to the phones and dial 355-2323. That's 355-2323 and support Channel 23, who originates Michigan Outdoors.
That's right. And I can remember, Bob, back in my old-time days when George Perot was a judge on the cooking show, and you're rapidly approaching the... No, well, I won't mention that. Make your pledge. Keep Michigan Outdoors on the air and all the other great shows on PBS. It's well worth your while.
We do have some phones open down here, some at the very end. So please, call in, keep them ringing, keep them off the hook. This is what I told them a long time ago. I said, please, Channel 23, Kay Ingram and Bob Page, give me a shot with the outdoors, because I think sportsmen will support it. We don't have any other outlets on television. You look at the news shows, and the sports leave us totally out. News just takes a zing at hunters and fishermen every now and then. Or, the Johnny Carson character who wears his hat, like that. And I mean, that's funny to a degree, but I tell you what, I feel a lot better when I see Michigan Outdoors on. Our thing, our hunting and fishing activities, people shooting and fishing and boating, that's what the outdoors is all about. And the main thing is to come home, bring that game home, and we have a cookbook for you. Our Fish and Wild Game Classics 1987. You can get the classics, you can get the hat, you can get the t-shirts. I mean, this isn't one of these cable auction shows, but I tell you, we got a good deal for you, plus Michigan Outdoors 52 weeks a year. You can count on that. You can bank on that.
And you can also bank on a great contest tonight here, too.
Coming up, back to our live show. We are back live statewide with our Fish and Wild Game Cook-Off 2. This is a great evening for us. Keep calling PBS. Call in for the cookbook. Now, tell you what if you don't catch fish? What if you don't go out and get them yourself? But you know, what if you want to buy some fish in the store? How do you know it's fresh?
Oh,
that's
a good way of telling.
A problem a lot of people have. We talked to Ed Stoll up at Lakeshore Fisheries and talked to him about this because he fillets fish. He was a winner of our fish filleting contest.
This is Lake Michigan whitefish. You can see there's kind of a pink texture to the meat. It's not bleached out, it's not white, it's not an off-white color. It's good. It does not flake apart when you lift it up.
You mean the meat stays intact, and that would break more on an older fish?
It would break right open, and you would be able to see the skin through it. More like this right here, except the whole fish, the whole fillet would be doing that. It's the texture, and again, you can see there's a nice pink color to the meat. That's the easiest way. Another way, if you're buying whole fish, is to check the gill color.
Well, you have some whole fish here. These are whole whitefish.
These are whitefish.
Lake Michigan whitefish?
Yep, these are Lake Michigan trap net whitefish. We save a few out that we don't fillet. Some people like to fill them up with stuffing and bake the whole fish. Now, when you buy a fish and you do not see gills in the fish, your first question should be, why don't you see the gills? The answer is the gills is the first thing to go in a fish. They will turn a real light pink color or even an off-white color, and that shows you that the fish is old.
Now this is fresh. The gills are reddish.
This is less than 24 hours out of Lake Michigan.
So that's a question to ask at a fish market. Can you, when you go into a fish market, should you ask to see the fillet? Can you touch it? Is that against the law?
It's not against the law. You should ask to see it. You should ask to smell it. You should ask, just for your own knowledge, how old the fish is and where it came from. There's no fish smell to a fresh fish.
I wish you could. In fact, if you put your nose up to your television set and smell that, see, no smell. That's exactly what I'm smelling. And I tell people, if you can smell fish, it's over the hill. And especially a fish like a whitefish that has the fat, and that will deteriorate fairly quickly.
Right, the whitefish and the trout, the fattier fishes, and the salmon. If you can smell fish, don't buy it.
I tell you what, you'd buy this fish tonight because we can smell it.
We sure can.
Our fish
good smell.
Our fish category right now, we have Michigan-style Cajun blackened salmon from West Googler, Drayton Plains. Boy, that's filling the aroma right now. And coconut fried smelt, a little different way. Here we have Wes. Come on in, Wes. Bring this recipe. Oh, we got the butter. You want to set the butter out there, and Sherry Marshall here bringing this blackened salmon.
The butter's to pour over the fish.
Boy, that is blackened salmon.
Right.
Okay. Now, Wes was a winner last year in the venison division. Boy, look at that. That is unusual. Good, Wes.
Haven't seen you in a year.
I know it. I tell you, it's good to have you here. We have this blackened salmon, which is one of the weirdest things. I've never cooked this style.
Oh, it's great.
Well, it's a Cajun Louisiana type cooking that we're putting the salmon now in the butter to dip it to hold the spices. These are Cajun spices, which is usually white pepper, black pepper, red pepper, basil, oregano. But the pepper, the tough, hot taste of the pepper is burnt off in the blackening process. No. It's putting in a pan that you can't get your cast iron skillet too hot. A gas range is recommended. If it's done outside, make sure that it's in a well-ventilated area, because we even smoked up the front of the building here.
You talk about the front of the building.
Studio.
We did the inside of the building when we were taping this. Watch this smoke rise. The reason why you have to do it outside, you'll set off every alarm. But look,
it's not recommended inside a house.
Look at this blackened salmon. I don't know if you can take a look at this. This is something else. I mean, it is actually burned. How do you like your burned fish, Roger?
I'm looking for my number 9.
Your number 9?
Really good.
Roger McCarville gives it a number 9. He says Cajun forever, huh?
And I have to give it a 9 too. That is a fantastic recipe. It looks like stuff I get at home, but it tastes a lot different.
Mort, how's your burned fish?
Hot enough to set the kitchen on fire.
Was it?
But it's good for a 9.
Good for a 9, man. This is a...
It's wonderful. Holy mozzacholi, I'll tell you.
Holy mozzacholi.
Yeah, that's something else. I spent some time in New Orleans, and I've had Cajun food lots of times.
Good.
That's excellent.
And Wes Googler gets a high
Very
rating.
good.
What we have for a score, 9999 for a total score of 36. Wes Googler, that's going to be hard to beat, but we have a recipe coming up that is highly unusual. This is coconut fried smelt, and this is Claire Moose from Kentwood. Now this, you know, if you've had smelt recipes before, it's nothing like this, I guarantee you. Coconut fried. Oh, a little butter on there, Raj.
Wow, look at that.
Isn't that a pretty dish?
That is pretty
Looks sort of like little candy bars, doesn't it, Bob?
Yeah, oh yeah, I'll take a couple extra here.
Well, Claire, how'd you come across a recipe for putting coconut on smelt?
I found a recipe for shrimp. And I changed it a little bit and tried it, and it disguises the flavor of smelt enough so it's not fishy.
Disguises it? Oh, do you buy the smelt in the store?
Unfortunately, I had to buy this because we ran out.
It can be a tad fishy, but in the store.
Understand that. 3 different dips here that you use, looks like.
You put it in, what was that first? Was that flour?
Flour. Flour with some seasonings in it.
Egg?
Egg with some creamer in it. And then
the coconut?
Coconut with cornflake crumbs.
An interesting concept. I've never myself cooked any fish with coconut.
Looks good.
Never crossed my mind. Let's see where Roger McCarville. Now, is that your score from last time, Raj?
This is my score from last time.
Okay.
But I'm gonna put it right back.
Oh, you're going to put it right back.
I can't help it. I liked it.
Isn't that
It was
something?
really good.
Bob Garner?
Well, I'll tell you what, I gave it a 7, but that isn't just a 7. That's a good 7, and I'd eat this recipe at home. I really enjoyed it.
Isn't that something? What do you think, Mort?
I think it's so ingenious. I gave it an 8, and I'm going to grow a coconut tree in the backyard.
Just for this one.
Oh, it's great.
And our celebrity chef, Pat Mcguire. You've cooked all over the country in Hilton Inns and...
Yes, sir.
And you give it a
I'll tell
9?
you what, I give that a 9 any day, a 9+. I think that your little cocktail sauce and shut your eyes, you might think you're eating shrimp. It's very, very, very good.
How about that? Well, the two of you have come in with some high scores, especially high recommendations from our chef. Michigan-style Cajun blackened salmon got 36 points to the 33. I tell you, those are good scores. Wes, I tell you, you've come up with...
Maybe I'm making some history, I don't know.
How about that? Burned fish.
Hey, it's like I like burnt toast.
Well, I'll tell you, that is outstanding. Now, small game, we're going to move to the small game category right now. Small game is something that all of us grew up hunting. And when we talk about small game, we're talking about rabbits. And rabbits are enjoyed by millions of hunters across the country. That's a bread and butter game animal. But game birds are popular, especially among hunters who have bird dogs. Shooting is fast when you're hunting ducks or grouse. Now you're going to see a grouse midway up on there's a black dot right in front of that. There. Whoa, I missed. But watch the wood chips fly across the bottom of the frame. See, an aspen got in the way. See those wood chips fly in there? An aspen got in the way between me and the grouse. Now watch the pine branches on this shot. Talk about small game hunting. Whoa, Jim Hamill, you cut those boughs in half. And the grouse obviously got away. But we get our share of game birds. Right here's a beautiful tale of a ruffed grouse. The small game we miss is eaten over the winter by many predators in the woods and fields. Only a small percent survive until spring and have young, but they have lots of young. Very prolific. We're never going to run out of small game. They just breed and breed and breed, Kathy.
I hope so.
And
we've got some good recipes to try them on.
Great recipes. In fact, this category right here of small game entrees, we're going to start off. We have one on Dijon, is that how you pronounce it? Dijon rabbit from Scott Soleather from Palmyra, and marinade duck breasts. Excellent, excellent. And here's Scott pointing out his Dijon rabbit. Ooh, look at the presentation. That rice around the edge. Sherry, why don't you come on in here and carry this plate down for them? Boy, they've got quite a load here. That small game. Well, Scott, how'd you come across this recipe?
Well, the taste I got from a restaurant recipe, and I experimented with it with different things. It was originally a chicken Dijon.
Ah, I see.
Made it into a rabbit. You cut up your pieces of rabbit, and you have onions? Yes,
and
onions and carrots, and Dijon mustard, and then Italian dressing, and all your spices are within the Italian dressing. So you mix it all up together in the marinade, and then you set it overnight, and then bring your pieces of rabbit out and fry them in butter, just brown them, and then you put the rest of it into the casserole dish, and then put the rabbit
back in the dish, and back in the oven,
and back in the oven.
I tell you, that's I can
delicious.
smell. can smell this Italian dressing where the spices are. Roger's plate is about clean. Oh no! Our
Can I get
first.
that back down here?
Can you want it back
You
down?
took it too fast. It was delicious.
Roger
Just
McCarville gives this a 10.
Yep.
Outstanding. What about you, Bob?
No, I have to give it a 9. It's so close to perfection. Should be about 9.5. That's fantastic.
Look at Mort Neff for his first 10.
I think it's a 10. I really do, and I think Scott should have a medal for this one. He told me when he was asked if it would freeze, he said, I don't know, there's never had any left over.
I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it. And what does the chef, Pat Mcguire, give it?
I gave it a 9. I think it's wonderful. It's got your vegetables, it's got your starch with your rice and your rabbit. It's a very, very good recipe. It's all my favorite things.
Outstanding. We have a total score here of 38 points. Scott Soul Leather from Palmyra. What a score. I tell you, that's something, and it's all in that Italian dressing. Come on up here, Susan Morrow from Frankenmuth. She has a recipe for marinade duck breasts. Now, they don't look like much. You know that?
they don't.
They just don't. Come on over here. They don't look. They're just sitting there in the bottom of that bowl, sort of lowly looking and forlorn. But I'll tell you,
Oh, they smell
I
good from over
taste
here.
They are very good.
Oh, yeah,
It's
we
a very
did
good
taste
recipe.
these.
that is when we
Tastes
cooked it
like
up.
beef.
It does taste like beef.
Yes.
You can't believe duck when it's cooked in this manner. A little bit of garlic.
Yes. Garlic and your spices, your lemon juice, your soy sauce, your teriyaki sauce.
You say use a whole bottle of these.
Use a whole bottle of the teriyaki sauce, but you use a half cup of the soy sauce.
Okay, then you use the mixer. Is that just to mix everything?
Yes, that just mix all the ingredients up and then serve it with rice pilaf or wild rice and cook it on the grill for whatever doneness that you want. It'd be like a steak.
Oh, so if you like your steak rare, then you would
That's
just
right.
cook this,
That's
cook
right.
this rare. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, very good. It looks good.
Yes, it is.
And like we said, it was good. We made that comment. It tastes like steak, and we
Yes,
ate it.
it does.
It's going to be interesting, you know, the way the blackened salmon came out on top. The burned salmon. Let's see what we do with burned duck breasts. Roger?
Oh, the flavor. Just delicious.
It isn't it though?
Oh, man.
You know,
I
people,
give it a 9. I love it.
people can't believe how duck breast, when it's cooked this way, does taste like beef. Don't you agree, Bob?
Yeah.
Oh, it really does. And this makes duck extremely fit to eat. Good recipe. 8.
An 8. I'll be darned. That Dijon must have really been good.
It was.
An 8 for me, too. It's delicious, and I love these duck breasts. I've had a lot of them in my life, and I think charcoal broiling them is just right. Perhaps a little more rare than this.
Oh, you know, that's something that people are afraid of in wild game.
I know, but a duck breast really should be bloody.
Shouldn't be any more than... Look at this, our chef.
How about this?
How about
Chef
that?
gave it a 10.
That was excellent. I don't know if I could do any better. It's like almost a classical recipe. I think it's wonderful.
And
I want some more, I'll tell you.
It is so simple.
Yes, it is.
I tell you.
Mine's nice and rare. Maybe Mort should have got mine. Very good.
Oh, yeah,
very
that's
good.
great.
Well, I tell you, that was worth a 10. The final score here we have is 38 for Dijon rabbit and 35 for the duck breast. You got a 10 from the chef. Congratulations, Scott. That was outstanding.
Very good.
What a pair. You can use these recipes, by the way, on chicken,
Yes.
on beef.
Yes.
You know, they'd be outstanding. Now, the prize package, by the way, that all of our contestants will be getting here, all of you are going to be eat like you never have before. Pat Mcguire, with the help of Avery Sterling, will give you samples of wild game and domestic dishes, but they'll be done with a flair. Pat will teach you how to make these flaming dishes, how to prepare wild game, how to make it so it doesn't taste wild at all from his years of experience as a gourmet chef. Now, your accommodations will either be in a motel rooms or in a cabin like this up at Lost Arrow, if you prefer. But if your recipe is chosen as one of the top 2 dishes here tonight, your quarters will be in the executive luxury suites. Hard to take. Lost Arrow is on the Tittabawassee River near Gladwin. It's not only an excellent hunting lodge in the fall, but it's a family resort year-round. Now, they're closed the month of March, but reopen in April. The weekend of April 11th is when Lost Arrow hosts all of the finalists to the cook-off. We have a pledge break coming up. We'll be back in just a moment. Stay tuned and make a call.
Boy, we're having a good time tonight, and I'll tell you, it is absolutely thrilling for me to see these great recipes and also to be a part of this Michigan Outdoors Cook-Off in the tradition that Mr. Michigan Outdoors, Mort Neff himself, started many, many years ago.
That's right, and I could remember one weekend after we announced the winners would have the recipes in the Leonard stations in the old days. In one weekend, they distributed 120,000 recipes.
Well, one of the ways you can get the recipes from tonight's contest is to pick up the phone, call 355-2323 and make a pledge to WKAR. As a matter of fact, a $60 pledge will get the digest and one Michigan Outdoors item. A $120 pledge will get Michigan Outdoors membership, Fred Trost Outdoors Club membership, and 2 Michigan Outdoors items. And you can get hats, you can get our cookbook, which will be out in May, or you can get T-shirts. One of the other things, Mort, that the U.S. anglers have, that, by the way, they're answering the phones here tonight, several of them are. One of the things they're going to make available to Michigan Outdoors viewers is this tackle box right here. Now, that's a tackle box, Mort, and I believe there are 8 of them. On the inside, they have a little Velcro thing here and spacers for all of your tackle.
Great, what an idea.
That is a heck of an idea. Yeah. Very lightweight, 8 of them. Those of you that call in a pledge tonight will be put in a drawing for those 8 pokes, I think they're called, donated by U.S. anglers. Mort, do you have a favorite in the recipe contest so far, shouldn't we say?
No, I don't think it's time to say. When the finals are down, you're going to discuss that next 30 seconds or so. Okay, but I want to say a word about the Outdoor Digest that Fred has been working on for so long. That Outdoor Digest is filled with more information for the outdoor sportsman than you can find in many of the national magazines. And I want to tell you, you get that with your pledge, right, Fred?
You bet. You get a subscription to the Digest. You will get our decal for the Outdoors Club. The Outdoors Club, by the way, is patterned after Mort Neff's Michigan Outdoors Club back in the 60s, 50s, 60s, and early 70s. And I'm proud to be extending what Mort Neff has started in this state. Not just started, boy, he was king of television back in those days. You had outstanding ratings. We're trying to get the phones ringing off the hook here. This is what we need because it's the only way on public television that we can show that hunting and fishing is #1 and should be #1 by public broadcasting managers and television managers. It's kind of quiet here because a lot of the people are on the phones, but some of them aren't. We're writing down some pledges. Please get your phone. Get a cookbook. We have a cookbook with all of our recipes in it. 355-2323. And, you know, when you call, it isn't like we're going to go off the air or anything like that. It's that we want to stay strong, get stronger. See, they put us up against Bill Cosby. Poor Cosby on Thursday nights, you know?
You know, Mort, we are one of the few shows that actually gets a rating against Cosby on PBS.
That's beautiful. You deserve it, too. I tell you, every bit of it. But it costs money. And don't forget to make those phones ring right now. You can easily afford it. After all, it's the biggest bargain in television that you could possibly get. Make that pledge right now. There's the number, 355-2323. Make your pledge now, and let's make it in 3 figures, okay?
That's right. I tell you, you can talk television cost, you can talk cable, VCRs and all of that, but think about this as a contribution relating to the outdoors. That's what it is. It's for hunting and fishing, and it's on television. And we spend a lot of money on movies and TV and recreation. You know how much you spend for a weekend on a tank full of gas? If you could just send some of that to PBS, we can take you every week. We can take you hunting or fishing somewhere around Michigan. We can bring you outdoor news. We can send you a hat. We can send you a T-shirt. 355-2323 will bring it to you. We can get you a membership in the club. We can get you the Outdoor Digest, the cookbook. All of this. Operators will tell you how to do it, but you got to make that call. We need to stay strong on PBS. We've sort of started something that we've got a reputation for, and I don't want people to think, oh, it's going to slip. One of these days, I suppose it's going to slide a little bit, but doggone it, it's not because of lack of viewer interest.
Yeah, well, it might have to, but by golly, so long as you keep calling in and we keep setting records on PBS, we are here to stay.
That's right. I hope so. I finally found a career, Bob, and it's not hunting and fishing 24 hours a day like we'll
get to it.
We'll get to that, yeah. But we have a lot of fun talking about the outdoors. We're going to be back to our wild game cooking contest. Run over there in just a moment. Stay tuned. Welcome back, folks. Keep calling that number at the bottom of your screen. Remember, if you call later tonight or tomorrow and say, hey, I'm calling for Michigan Outdoors, it's going to get totaled into the figures for some other program. So get the cookbook now. Call now. This means the most to us. It's our form of ratings on public television, and it's what puts the outdoors ahead. Big game, that's our category right now. And when we talk big game, we're talking things like deer and elk. That's right, the largest animals in the state. Now, the elk in Michigan are hunted by special permit. Excellent meat. Bear are hunted. Make sure you trim the fat, and you can't beat bear meat. But more hunters go after one big game animal than any other, the white-tailed deer. Michigan's deer herd is probably at an all-time high after this mild winter. The stiff fines for poaching have curtailed a lot of the illegal taking of deer. And despite the image that some people have of hunters being trophy seekers, fact is deer hunters overwhelmingly value deer for their meat. The trophies on our big buck night, well, I tell you, most of it's luck. We get a kick out of seeing the lucky hunters who got the biggest deer. But when we look at buck polls, hunters see meat. About 35 pounds of boneless meat on the average buck. That's trimmed out meat that is excellent eating. It's lean, it's not tough unless you overcook it. I can't emphasize enough the importance of trimming venison. The tallowy fat that you see in that connective tissue right there, that contains the off flavor in wild game, especially venison. You should trim every bit of it away. It's tough, it's like leather. The shiny material is called fell. And if you've eaten venison that tasted bad, you've eaten fell, you've probably got it caught in your teeth. Make sure you trim that stuff off, and you will find that venison is excellent.
Oh, and you can't say that enough. That's right.
Yeah, the recipes only add to it. Our category, our big game category right now, venison spinach roll. How about that? Mary Fortin from Sutton's Bay and Mama Bear's venison ole. We're going to go out with a flaming finish here on a Mexican type dish, but right now Mary Fortin, who was a winner last year in dips and appetizers, this is one of the oddest things. That is a spinach venison roll that has spinach wound up in venison and ham
and smoked ham. Right.
All in one dish.
All in one dish. Can be served on the side with a little chili sauce.
Oh, sounds good.
How did you come across this?
You have to make a dish sometimes look different for somebody to eat it. My kids don't really like meatloaf, so we tried this.
Oh, they like spinach?
Oh, yes.
I'll be
Yes.
darned. That's something
You
else.
could substitute it for broccoli if you wanted to, but the spinach seemed to go well, and the kids do like the spinach.
Would roll up nice, too.
Yeah, and the chili sauce on the side if you liked is good.
Well, there it is. All the ingredients. You do have quite a few ingredients in this.
Yeah, there's
Spices.
venison and bread, just regular soft bread, and onion powder, garlic powder, ketchup.
All the makings of a good meatloaf.
Yeah, similar to a meatloaf. You just mix it all together and place it onto an aluminum foil, pat it down.
This is the part that when we were taping this, Mary, we said, I don't see how it's going to work. How do you roll this up? It's too gooey.
Yeah, it does. It rolls. And place your spinach well drained on top. And then your smoked ham, and the aluminum foil helps you roll it.
It sure does.
And I suppose you can use turkey ham.
Oh, well.
To really
the ham was
complicate
good. Or
things.
you could even use venison salami, too. That'd
That's
be good.
right. Oh, that'd be good.
Roll it up.
Roll it up real tight. Put your water
Into the
around
oven.
it. Into the oven.
I tell you, let's find out now what Roger McCarville, Mr. Outdoors Forever.
Fred, my mother'd be proud of me. I ate my spinach.
Did you?
And it's delicious.
And you gave it a 9?
I gave it a 9. I sure did.
Well, I tell you,
I
that's
love the
something.
look.
Oh, Bob Garner, this
Hey.
must have knocked your socks off.
Pièce de resistance. This is what good cooking is all about. Mixing things together, and I mean, this has a purpose. Everything complements each other. It's
I
great.
echo that. I'll tell you, Mary says that it takes her only 30 minutes to prepare this. It'll take me 30 days. And
to
if I
wind
could
it
do
up.
it, it'd be worth it. I'll tell you. Delicious.
That's great. Holy cow, look at these. 3 10s, including one by the chef.
Mamma mia, I had to give it a 10. It tastes like Mother Mcguire's meatloaf.
Is that
I
right?
was born and raised on it. Very, very good.
No kidding.
Very good.
Did your mother put spinach in your meatloaf?
Now she put it down my mouth with a fork half the time. But very good. Now she didn't use spinach, but everything else. Very
Mary Fortin got a 39 and outstanding. This recipe must be something else. Mama Bear's venison ole. Margaret Secor. Margaret, you have a dish here that I tell you, it's an interesting dish. It's a simple dish to prepare. It's a tasty dish, and I can't see how they don't have much room to play with the scores here, Mary. I mean, we're going to have to get. Look at that.
It's a real versatile dish. You can use most any kind of meat in it or any kind of
Well, there were the
kind of person would
ingredients.
like it.
The ingredients: chicken, cream of chicken, soup.
And
Yeah,
chili?
it sounds a little
And chili?
strange.
This is
But it
something.
has a really full-bodied, rich flavor.
Oh, there's the venison, and here comes the cream of chicken soup in the saucepan.
Right.
This makes the sauce like that.
Now you know how mild
Right.
cream of chicken soup is.
Oh, you spiced it up, didn't you?
Add a can of hot chilies.
You can make it as spicy or as mild as you want, depending on the amount of hot chilies that you want to add.
A couple tablespoons of meat and cheese in each tortilla shell.
And just roll it up.
And with that
layer
chicken,
the pan.
chicken hot pepper thing on the bottom there, that
Right,
sauce on the
that
bottom.
keeps the tortillas from getting too crispy on the bottom.
Put some of that on top,
The
and
sour
then
cream at the top.
2 different kinds of cheeses.
Yes,
Okay.
there's 2 pounds of cheese in this. Makes it very rich.
Oh,
wow,
looks good.
lots of cheese. Roger's drinking water right now. I caught you. It's a hot one, isn't it, Raj?
I'm changing. I'm leaving for Mexico.
Ah, you're leaving for Mexico.
That
Well, we're-
was delicious.
yeah, I knew you'd like that.
Man.
What's Bob Garner gonna do?
I'll give it an 8.
Oh, you flub up her perfect score.
8.
An 8?
I give it an 8.
It's hot, isn't it?
Not hot enough, but it's
Really?
great.
You
Yeah.
could use some more?
Oh, I could, sure.
Well, Mort?
I'll give Margaret a 9 on that. I think it's very ingenious, and you could use beef and get the same flavor in case venison was out of season. Okay.
That's right. That's right. And our chef gave it as high a rating as he could give it, short of perfection.
That's just short of perfection. That's wonderful. Nice and cheesy, and like Mort said, you can use a lot of different things, ground beef, for instance, or whatever you'd like. Tastes a little bit salty to me, though.
Mary-
It's a little tad salty.
Mary Fortin got 39. Margaret Secor got 36 points. It looks like, Mary, you were the winner, but you came in with a high, high score. Judges, we have to huddle now. Want you to pick the top 2 winners of all the dishes you ate here this evening, because they're going to get the luxury accommodations. Okay? The top 2. I'd hate to
Oh boy,
have to
I'm
do
glad
that.
I'm not a judge. Okay, we're gonna need all the contestants
Mary, that
back
was
in here.
that was outstanding. You only had one errant point there by somebody. They're huddling, trying to decide which of the 10 recipes in the 5 categories, which one they like best. Which 2? Which was it?
We have made a decision.
What's the decision?
Well, the decision is the TG's rabbit and squirrel stew. That was
TG's
wonderful.
rabbit? Okay.
That's
And
number 2.
Mama Bear's venison ole.
I'll be darned. How about that? But that's the composite score among them. So it wasn't the top. You mean these are the top 2 favorites?
Hold on just a second. Excuse me then.
Holy mozzarella, the chef made a mistake.
The chef
made a mistake?
Right. It was a venison spinach roll.
Oh,
was number-
that didn't
was
have the
top choice.
That was yours. Venison spinach roll and
Right.
the TG's?
Right, and the TG's rabbit and squirrel
And where is he? He should get over here. I tell you what these winners get.
guys.
The top 2 winners get the luxury package here. At Lost Arrow Lodge, they received the very best luxury suites for the winners and their spouses after a long day of relaxation at Lost Arrow. Eating the Pat Mcguire Spectacular Creations, the hot tubs will let you unwind. The rooms have all the conveniences, including king-size water beds, the kind with the baffles, so you know they're really comfortable. A complete stereo and television system, luxury like you don't often find in the Northwoods. Remember, this is a hunting camp in the fall. Fred Bear got a deer here in 1971. Fred Trost missed one on TV in 1984. But in the off-season, Lost Arrow is a family resort. Fishing, horseshoes, and horses. Avery Sterling will give you ride behind his prize Morgan horse as you tour the woods. I tell you, it's going to be a good time. All of you contestants here who made the finals are going to get the Lost Arrow package. So congratulations to you all. You were all winners. Wes, all top. Call your PBS station, get a cookbook, join the bandwagon, be proud you're a hunter and fisherman. We'll see you folks next Thursday night. That was good.
From the rugged shore and woodlands of the north, its history of copper mines and iron ore.
Channel 23 here. We are continuing. We have another half hour coming up. This was our special, our Michigan Outdoors Wild Game Cooking Contest. Make sure you call 355-2323. top drawer recipes in our 1987 edition, coming out the 1st of May. You can be first in line and have it sent to you along with the Stroh's Trophy book that has all 1,596 game with our big game winners and our fish winners from 1986. Where they got their fish, the whole bit. Now, when you call in to Channel 23, 355-2323, you're going to, by the level of your pledge, you're going to be able to get different items. A $60 pledge, you can get the Outdoor Digest for a year. You'll get 6 issues of the Digest. You'll get your sticker, your decal. You'll get your membership card. That'll get you in the outdoor fair for free. That'll get you in our workshops for free. That'll get you a discount at our banquets. A lot of benefits to this card. $60 pledge plus one of the following items. You can get a t-shirt, one of our Outdoors Club t-shirts with our logo of the fish and the deer. You could get a hat with a patch on it. You could receive the cookbook. For a $120 pledge, you get 2 of these plus the membership. And, oh, it's been a long hour, folks. Long, fast, and furious. $180 will get you 3 items plus the Outdoors Club membership. Mort, are you full?
I certainly am, and a wonderful night. And you know, all those extras that you're talking about are just frosting on the cake, because you folks want to remember that you're sitting there at home enjoying this program that has more information in it and far less advertising than you ever saw anywhere else. It's worth paying for, isn't it? So make those phones ring. Come on, make your pledge right now. Keep Michigan Outdoors and all the other great PBS shows on the air. It only takes a moment to make the call, and it'll be the greatest investment you've made all year. Right, Bob?
All they have to do is dial 355-2323. Come on, make a pledge here. The phones are really ringing off the hooks. Let them ring. Let them ring loud and clear that sportsmen are going to say yes to Michigan Outdoors and to Michigan Public Broadcasting. By the way, we're a little bit lucky here at WKAR. We should explain the East Lansing audience essentially pays for Michigan Outdoors because it's produced right here at Michigan State University through WKAR. And the other stations don't pay.
They help to pay for the facilities here, which we use. It's a complicated system because 52 weeks a year isn't like your run-of-the-mill 13-week series. A very expensive program, takes a lot of time, a lot of hours. It's a lot of enjoyment.
But WKAR was the ones that said, we'll take on that responsibility to produce it. So
that's right.
So call in a pledge to WKAR. That's 355-2323.
And here, Raj McCarville. Raj, you've given a breath of fresh air to the outdoors to a lot of people who have given it up.
Well, the PBS has given quite a break to the handicap to let us once a week come on and talk about some of the concerns and make the world a little bit better.
Well, you know, the thing is, we're finding out everybody has a disability of some type. You know, if a person is not comfortable out ice fishing and they say, I'm not going to go because I get too cold because my fingers freeze, that's a disability. That's an inability to enjoy being outdoors in winter.
That's right. And
we can fix that.
That's right. There's things that have been done to change that. All we've got to do is let people know. And that's what PBS gives us a chance every week to tell them what the adaptions they can use and things that'll help them to get outside.
Well, and it helps the viewers. It helps you folks. You want ideas. You want information. You want recipes. You want to see what Mort Neff is doing now. Bob, you know, we get a lot of questions. Say, Mort, what the heck is he doing up in Harbor Springs?
Yeah, what are you doing, Mort?
I'm retired. Didn't you know that?
Mort Neff is never retired. Never will be retired at 80-some years old.
Well, I try to keep my mind nimble anyway to find out. In order to find out, I watch Michigan Outdoors and Trost host.
Yes. Well, you, what are you involved in up there nowadays?
A little bit of everything. I'm working with many community efforts up there. We just built a beautiful swimming pool in the Harbor Springs area there, and it's going to be a community affair. Busy every night with everybody. Good health.
You lived in the Detroit area, you know, most of your life. Don't you miss the traffic and stuff?
Oh, it's just terrible the way I miss it. Awful the way I miss it.
Hey, but you know, Mort's got a project going with a grouse right now too that some of the viewers up north will be lucky enough to see.
Yeah, I think they will be seeing it pretty soon. A grouse that's very tame, and a grouse that came my way and Red Sharky's way in the Petoskey News Review, and you'll see it on Channel 9 particularly.
Outstanding. Outstanding. Well, I tell you, it's a thrill to have Mort Neff back with Michigan Outdoors. We had some rocky years there back in the 70s, Mort. Television was tough. You moved up north. There were difficulties with, you know, on TV, and it's great.
You have emerged, King. You have emerged. You're great. Keep it up.
I tell you, just follow in this man's footsteps. That's all it is. Keep my batteries charged with the Mort Neff guides to how to do an outdoor show. And that is, and I've said it many times, stick to hunting and fishing, pace and variety, you know, get outdoors, talk to sportsmen more. always give me that advice. Get out and talk
And
to
make
them.
the phones ring.
That's right.
Make the phones ring for PBS right now. Now is the chance to reach for that phone. Call 355-2323. That's the right number.
355-2323.
And make a pledge for the best investments you can make.
You know what we had to do? If Coleman maybe had put a train all the way up to Harbor Springs,
Yeah.
we could get Mort back every week, and we could do the show together, all of us.
Oh, hey, now that would be a dream. Well, it's a dream come true.
May I make a few words? Forget it. Forget it. Forget it.
You said you're
well,
retired. Huh?
That's right.
Well, heck, Mort, you spent 23 years on TV. We are in our 6th year here on PBS, loving every minute of it, enjoying the letters that you send in, the phone calls you make, the support you have, because you have been the guides to what we put on Michigan Outdoors. The response we get from the cooking contest, hey, we'll keep bringing it your way. Every spring, every March, we'll bring it up. Roger, you came out with the first 10 tonight on the scores.
Oh, that was hard to, there were so many great recipes, it was hard to pick out which one you liked the best, but I knew it when I hit that 10.
Yes, you did. I tell you, we've had a lot of fun in the outdoors, haven't we?
Oh, I have.
It's because Raj, you may not know, Raj had a boating accident 11 years ago. Outboard motor came across, severed your legs, and which hasn't put you down.
No, it got, after running into you, I got back out. Outdoors forever. I kind of agree with the principle of it, and that's where everybody should be.
Well,
no reason to stay in.
You said that people who do stay in, people who have become handicapped, tend to want to stay in. They're bummed out.
Well, so often they don't realize that there's something out there to do. They can get to places. Things are accessible now. And through this PBS show, where do you go in America and see every week something about handicapped people or disabled people getting out and doing something? This is the only place, and we need to keep it on.
You know what we're finding? Like we did the thing tonight on vision, on eyes. Bob can see, he has 20/10 vision when he wears his glasses, and he's only 20/20. But you know, that's going to help us out turkey hunting. You know that, Bob? Whoops.
Oh, yeah. Hey, I couldn't believe that I could spot geese the first day I had them and take them off, and I couldn't even see a speck in the sky. So it's got to make me a better hunter and fisherman, too.
I mean, he can see better than I can, and I'm going to stick close to him outdoors.
How come Mort doesn't wear glasses?
Mort is, I don't know. How come Mort?
You must be the perfect
They keep
10.
falling off.
Yeah, you must be the perfect 10.
Yeah.
No. I wear glasses when I read, all right. But at a moment like this, I don't need them. Well, I want to say, finally, that I've had a great time down here tonight. Enjoyed those recipes, and honestly, I think of all the attractions on the Michigan Outdoor Show, the wild game cooking is one of the greatest.
Oh, love it. If, folks, get to your phones and call for this cookbook. We're going to send it to you. The first batch that comes off the presses at the end of April will get to you. This is our Fish and Wild Game Classics 1987, 104 recipes with our trophy book listings all in here too. It's a great deal. Call right now, become a member of the Outdoors Club, a supporter of PBS, 355-2323. See, we're not done. I know the cooking contest is over, but we have another half hour of Michigan Outdoors coming up in just a moment. We're going to show you some highlights from our fish filleting contest in 1982. What a day that was.
Oh, that was fun.
That's right. I just mentioned about a feature we had on the show, and these people here in East Lansing haven't seen it yet.
That's right. That's right.
Well, heck, you're going to see it. We have another half hour of Michigan Outdoors coming up in just 30 seconds. Anytime during the next half hour, please make a call to Channel 23, 355-2323. This will go in the scoreboard for Michigan Outdoors, 4 out, and for you as a hunter and fisherman. So call now and enjoy the next half hour. We'll be back in just a few.
Seems like you got most of the meat there. And then you peel it over. Turn around and you take the rib bones out of it. Slicing like that? Mm-hmm.